You're not targeted by difficult people by accident. You're chosen based on what you signal, and most of those signals are invisible to you. Here's the truth most people don't see. People who cross boundaries are not random. They are selective. They don't approach everyone the same way. They observe first, then they decide, not who is weakest, but who is easiest. Think about it. You've seen someone constantly dealing with difficult behavior. They get pushed, overlooked, taken advantage of, and you wonder, why them? Why does it keep happening to the same person? It's not bad luck, it's pattern recognition. Because in any environment, people are constantly scanning, not consciously, but consistently. They're asking one simple question: what happens if I push here? If the answer is nothing, they continue. If the answer is unclear, they hesitate. If the answer is there will be a response, they move on. This is where most people misunderstand the situation. You think strength protects you, but visible strength is not what matters most. What matters is perceived cost. If there is no cost to crossing you, you become an easy option. Not because of who you are, but because of what your behavior suggests. Here's the deeper layer. People who test boundaries are not looking for conflict. They're looking for low-resistance interactions. They want predictable outcomes. If you always respond the same way, you become easy to map, easy to anticipate, easy to navigate. And once someone can predict you, they can adjust around you. That's where problems begin. Here's the principle. It's not about appearing strong. It's about being hard to predict and clear in your limits. Because predictability without boundaries creates exposure, but unpredictability with clarity creates distance. And distance creates safety. So how do you shift this? You don't become aggressive. You don't overreact. You change three things. First, your boundaries become visible. Not through words alone, through action. When something feels off, you respond. Not emotionally, not dramatically, just clearly. I'm not comfortable with that. Simple. No explanation. And then you hold that line. Because boundaries only work when they are consistent. If you say no, then give in, you remove the signal. And people notice that. Second, you stop being predictable in your responses. Most people react the same way every time. They either always let things pass, or always respond the same way. Both patterns are easy to read. Instead, vary your response based on the situation. Sometimes you address it directly. Sometimes you step back. Sometimes you reduce access. There is no single pattern to rely on. And that creates uncertainty. Not confusion, uncertainty. And uncertainty increases perceived cost, because now the outcome is unclear. And unclear outcomes create hesitation. Third, you build quiet independence. This is the strongest signal of all. When people sense that you don't rely on them, their behavior shifts, because they understand something important. You can walk away, not emotionally, practically. And that changes the entire dynamic, because people are more careful with those who have options. Not louder, not more intense, just more stable. This is what most people miss. It's not about proving anything. It's about removing the idea that you are easy to access and easy to influence. Now let's make this practical. When someone tests a boundary, I'm not comfortable with that. No explanation, no softening. If they continue, I've already said no to that. Calm, final. If something crosses a line and you need space, I need some time to think about this. You create distance, without conflict. And if you decide to step away completely, this isn't working for me. Clear, closed, no debate. These are not dramatic responses. They are controlled signals, and signals shape behavior. Here's what happens when you apply this consistently. People start adjusting around you, not because you demanded it, but because your behavior changed the calculation. You are no longer the easiest option, and people naturally move toward easier options. That's how this works. Here's the key takeaway. You don't need to change who you are. You need to change what you signal, because people respond to signals faster than words. If your boundaries are unclear, you invite pressure. If your responses are predictable, you invite repetition. If your position is dependent, you invite testing. But when those signals shift, everything else follows. So this week, do one simple thing. Notice one moment where you usually stay silent, and respond differently. Not louder, not longer, just clearer. Then watch what happens. Because once people see that crossing you has a cost, they stop trying. Not out of respect alone, but because it's no longer worth it. If this changed how you see these interactions, this is only one layer. There's a deeper structure behind how people choose who to test and who to avoid. Most people never fully see it. If you want to understand it at a deeper level, the full framework is in the book. Because once you stop looking like an easy option, you stop being treated like one.